Oh, hey, a new A24 movie. I'll just think back to all my favorite A24 movies. I'll get back to you. Green Room. That was fun.
Ladies and gentlemen,
we are releasing our final...
Hey, look at old 90s computer technology. So quaint. Looks like there's a Limp Bizkit Easter egg in there. Wouldn't it be hilarious if Fred Durst showed up in the movie as himself, a la Billy Idol in The Wedding Singer? Hilarious. Looks like we have some teenagers attending a party on New Year's Eve in 1999. For those that weren't around back then, the Y2K scare was a real thing. Mostly overblown, but some people were completely convinced that the world was going to come to a screeching halt.
By the end of the 90s, many of us were happy slaves to our computers.
The basic idea on Y2K was that for convenience, all these computer programs, when it came to do dates, you only needed 2 numbers. Why use 4 numbers when you only need 2? And then they recognized, what date is a computer going to think it is when we get to 2000?
Nothing really happened, but I think the idea with this movie is, what if the shit really hit the fan at midnight on January 1st, 2000? This isn't the first movie to use the supposed Y2K bug as a setup. There were 2 films back in '99 called Y2K, one starring Lou Gossett Jr. and Malcolm McDowell, concerning the search for a lost nuclear missile set to detonate due to the Y2K bug, and a TV movie with Joe Morton that shows the potential chaos that could ensue if the predictions were right. Of course, then there was The Simpsons, who did everything first.
Hey, Homer, weren't you the plant's Y2K compliance officer?
Absolutely.
Must have been hard debugging all those computers, huh, Homer?
Doing what now?
You did fix them, right, Dad? Because even a single faulty unit could corrupt every other computer in the world.
That can't be true, honey. If it were, I'd be terrified.
In the season 11 Treehouse of Horrors episode, the segment Life's a Glitch and Then You Die depicts a Y2K catastrophe, pretty much caused by Homer.
8, 7, 6. We want to thank Dixie Brand Mayonnaise. Whoa, Lordy, what a mayonnaise.
3, 2.
That's Homer Simpson's computer.
Oh, God, it's spreading!
Oh, no, it's happening.
Then, of course, Bart and Homer decide to jettison themselves into space and certain death, rather than spend a few more minutes on the rocket with Tom Arnold and Rosie O'Donnell.
Hey!
Maybe some of you can relate. The idea of machines coming to life in movies isn't new, of course. Go watch Maximum Overdrive. I'll wait.
Who was driving it?
I don't know.
Curtis! It's coming after us!
It was my first picture as a director, and you know something? I sort of enjoyed it.
Are you back? Great soundtrack, eh? Let's move on.
That's pimp as hell.
You've got mail.
Breakdown, 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 breakdown.
Y2K, 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 Y2K.
If this guy looks familiar, that's because it's Kyle Mooney of SNL fame, who also happened to co-write and direct this movie. I think he can be pretty damn funny. If you've seen any of his non-SNL stuff, he seems to be fairly obsessed with 80s and 90s children's entertainment. From the movie Brigsby Bear.
Everyone says they're trying to help me, but nobody can find me the new episode of Brigsby.
There wasn't a new episode this week.
Which he co-wrote and stars in, to the Netflix show Saturday Morning All-Star Hits, which has him playing a challenging dual role as Skip and Trebor as they celebrate all that is 80s and 90s television. At least that's what IMDb says. I haven't seen it. Looks like fun, maybe. He also collects offbeat VHS tapes, which he discussed with Seth Meyers.
This is a real photo of your collection of VHS tapes.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, no, I'm especially into children's tapes from the 80s and 90s.
And you brought some.
I did bring
this
some.
This is the bag you actually brought him in. And so I'm going to pull a few out, and if you can just tell me a little about
I
each
would
of these
love
tapes.
to,
Okay, there you go. You can, there you go.
Okay, so we got Prayer Bear, Volume 3. This is Time to Pray. And for those of you who don't know Prayer Bear, he's an animatronic bear who helps you to learn when is the right time to pray. He loves Spumoni ice cream. I don't know, you can maybe see, I don't know if you can see any of that, but he's just a really fun guy to have around.
I spot a trend. Imagine a grown man obsessing about old movies and collecting antiquated media formats. Let's move on.
They made a video on everything. That's crazy. Breakdown.
I was at a party on New Year's Eve in 1999. I was out of school and already a productive adult. Well, one of those is true. Our three leads, we have Julian Dennison, the Kiwi actor whose big breakout hit came with the Taika Waititi-directed Hunt for the Wilder People in 2016.
I'll never stop running.
Yeah, and I'll never stop chasing you. I'm relentless. I'm like the Terminator.
I'm more like Terminator than you.
I said it first. You're more like Sarah Connor.
No, I'm not.
Yes, in the first movie too, before she could do chin-ups.
He then went from indie movie success to corporate-owned mega franchise success in record time, showing up as Fire Fist in Deadpool 2 just 2 years later. He also has this to say about Australian meat pies versus Kiwi ones.
Australians have terrible pies. What? You guys have terrible pies. Oh my gosh. Don't even get me started. You guys have terrible.
Highly controversial. In my house, anyway. Highly controversial. I see Jaden Marteel in there. He's done a few horror projects in his young acting career, including Anthony Muschietti's It movies as Bill and The Lodge in 2019, which I rather enjoyed. Come to think of it, I saw Alicia Silverstone's name in the credits for Y2K. She was also in The Lodge. Always nice to see her cheery persona on screen. I forget what happened to her in that movie. And then there's Rachel Zegler. I've never actually seen any movies she's been in, but I know that West Side Story tanked pretty hard, and this new Snow White movie is probably going to be a disaster. A big faction online seems to think she's insufferable, but I believe that subject has been well covered on other channels, so feel free to click over to one of them if you want to take a ride on the Zegler hate train. Wait, shit. I lost you, didn't I? Can I get you back with the weird clip?
Weird.
Ah, yes. Let's move on.
They're combining or something. Oh, snap.
So it would appear that the bug somehow causes the technology to link itself together and form some sort of killer robots. Well, film, you got me. Nice work. There's not a lot of blood in this trailer, but if you check out the IMDb page, it looks as though the movie is quite violent and gory. You got me again, film. Well done.
Think they'll still do graduation?
This shot seems very reminiscent of The World's End, a criminally underrated film in my opinion. Hey Funko, where's the Gary King pop, huh? We're waiting. The ball is in your court.
Watch it.
I'm going to give this one a chance for sure. Cal Mooney, 90s nostalgia, retro technology turning into killer robots. Where do I sign up?
Okay.